Today I'm going to be breaking down Diamonds by Wizkid, where as usual I'm going to be talking you through the various elements that I'm picking up on as we go through it. Alright, you know the score, headphones on, let's get into some music.
Yeah, man. Diamonds on my ring, diamonds on my pinky. I dey wait for the Kelly, we go come and play. You know big ways, yeah, my life so crazy. I been rapping for the ghetto long time, you don't take. Yeah, man, they grind here for days. What I they feel, what you feel, no
switch up in the kick, bang.
My man, I seen better days. So many things I been take for the pain. See, I feel tell you many things, but I see nothing.
Okay, right, gonna pause it there. I know we're stopping it early, but actually the verse is quite short, so don't blame me. But we also have a pre-chorus and a chorus to come, so it makes sense to cover off the intro and the verse, the first verse first. Okay, so let's do the intro. So we've got this nice set of guitars in there that's driving the main melody. Now, we also have this second main sound, and it could either be a set of strings or it could be a set of keys, right? Today's technology, it can be hard to tell, especially when a sound is not that prominent, like what it is, just because they can do all sorts of things nowadays. Now, on initial listen, it does actually sound like a mandolin, but like I say, even if it is a set of strings, it could be a variety of those, so I'm not even going to bother hazarding a guess at what it is, but listen out for it nonetheless. Now, what we also have is buried quite far back in the mix is this higher pitch consistent sound, like and it's panned slightly over to the left-hand side, so again, listen out for that also. We get some intro vocals from the man himself, and to take us out of the intro into the first verse, we get this nice transition, and it's almost like this kind of dampened reggae sound. And then following that, we also get some additional drum hits as well, before we have a pause that actually then tips us into the first verse. Talking about the first verse, now within that pause, what we actually get is a nice bass drop. And then as we progress further on into the verse, this is where things obviously they pick up, because we get the drums, we get the bass, and the rhythm on this track absolutely bangs. Really like the higher pitch sound that they've got in there that hits on the offbeat. And as I've already mentioned in the video, at around 19 seconds, we actually get a switch up in the kick drum where it becomes much more prominent, much more heavy on the track. And then finally within the verse is Wizkid's flow, nice and tight to the rhythm, and it's absolute fire. So let's go back and let's listen. Guitars, consistent sound on the left, intro vocals. There's that reggae snare, bass drop. Now everything's in.
I've been rapping for the ghetto long time, you don't take. Yeah, man, they grind for days. What I they feel, what you feel, no
heavier kick now.
My man, I seen better days. So many things.
There's that higher pitch sound.
See, I feel tell you many things.
Pre-chorus.
See this life not so you be, but that what could be, could be. I feel tell you why I live so dangerously. When they go through things for real, but when they shall we go see better days. Yeah. Stand well, and I get the bed with them, made the band swell. Make her they do things, we go make my mind well.
Right, chorus now.
You know they follow no fella. Got a couple of days I call any weather, and we no come to the waste time. Book for the boo, yeah, the music dance winner. That one know the voice itself to shine, man. Stay on my J's on, yeah. Pretty please, missing with the bullshit. Mr. Big Wiz, Mr. Big, I don't want this. Mr. Louis.
Okay, right, going to pause it there. We've leaked over into the second verse, so let's talk about the pre-chorus and the chorus. Kicking off with the pre-chorus, not much changes, you know, instrumentally or structurally at least. There are a few subtle things in there, but there are no big changes where actually they're worth mentioning. And to be honest with you, those subtle changes that do occur, they're really hard to hear, so I really wouldn't kind of worry too much about it. But listen, if you want to kind of pick it apart, then by all means be my guest. But one of the things that I do really like about the pre-chorus are the backing vocals that come in, or the supporting vocals, whatever it is that you want to call it. Sounds like a female vocal to me. Again, you can never be too sure, especially with today's technology, but what I like about about it is the fact that they're not too upfront within the track, meaning that they don't kind of take center stage. They're actually quite subtle, but they do a really good job of kind of facilitating, supporting and uplifting the lead vocal within that pre-chorus. Really nice touch. Moving on to the chorus then, and the first thing that we notice here is that we get some variation in that lead guitar. Now what we also have is an additional guitar, comes in from the left hand side, so pay attention to that also. And then to finish things off, we have a similar, or if not exact same scenario as what we had in the intro around the transition, where we get that dampened reggae snare and we get a couple of drum hits as well before we go into the pause, which is actually the start of the second verse. So let's go back and let's listen.
My play, you know big ways, yeah, my life so crazy. I've been rapping for the ghetto long time, you don't take. Yeah, man, they grind here for days. What I they feel, what you feel, no be seen. My man, I seen better days. So many things I be take for the pain. See, I feel tell you many things, but I see nothing. See this life not so
backing vocals.
But that word could be. Oh,
right, nice and subtle.
I tell you why I live so dangerously. When they go through things for real, but we they shall we go see better days. Yeah. Stand well, and I get the bed with
right, there's the pause.
Make her they do things, we go make my mind well. Bad boy, we see no they follow no fella. Got a couple of this.
Listen to the guitars on the left hand side.
Come to the waste time.
Variation in the lead guitar.
Damn, I know they force yourself to shine, man. Sleep on my J's on. Yeah. Pretty please, missing with the bullshit. Mr. Big Wiz, Mr. Big Man, one test. Mr. Louis V, sipping 42 weeks. When the girls be me trouble, yeah, Joshy. Music shall I yeah, that now all the day. Big color, they talk from the jump, you don't take. My brother don't play nothing, we no face. They have to tell you many things, but I see nothing.
Okay, right, we are going to stop it there. We're going to talk about a few things that have occurred within the second verse, and then we're going to go ahead and see the rest of the track out. So the first thing that we notice about the chorus is in the pause, and it's around the bass drop. So we get a bass drop within this second verse, but it's much more filthier in the second verse than what we had in the first verse. Female vocals, they are firmly in the mix this time. They didn't come into the mix until the pre-chorus last time. Now, something else interesting happens, and it's around 119, and it's the snare. The snare becomes much more frequent within the mix rather than hitting on the offbeat of every bar. And there are a few other subtle things in there, but there's also a lot of common themes that we've also already discussed. So one example is the guitars. They come in, they're panned from the left hand side. They're in this verse, but they weren't in the first verse. There's a few other things in there as well, so just listen out for them. Now we're going to go back and we're going to see the rest of the track out. Let's do it.
But that word could be. I feel tell you why I live so dangerously. When they go through things for real, but we they shall we go see better days.
Female vocals bang, mate.
And I get the bed with them made the band swell.
Right, in the chorus now.
Bad boy, busy, no they follow no fella. Got a couple of this.
You can hear those guitars on the left hand side.
Come to the waste time. Yeah, the music dance when I damn on the force yourself to shine.
Right, listen to the bass drop. Listen, filthy.
Pretty please, missing with the bullshit. Mr. Big Wiz, Mr. Big Man.
There.
Mr. Louis V, sipping 42 weeks. When the girls be me trouble, yeah, Joshy.
Right, listen to the snare. Switched up. Backing vocals, female vocals, they're in there.
I feel tell you many things, but I see nothing. See this life not so easy, but that word could be. I feel tell you why I live so dangerously.
Strip back.
When they go through things for real, but we they shall we go see better days.
That's different to the first pre-chorus. Those vocals are different in the chorus than the last one.
And when they come to the waste time, them on the device to chime in.
seeing us out now. Thanks, mate. Okay, that's it for me. If you want to see more breakdown and analyses videos, there'll be things popping up on the screen right now. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.